Okay, I did come back to the model table last night, and I tried to do our side-by-side comparison test using my old 850 and the Z9, which was sitting right here. You'll see when we get into it. And yeah, I think it shows kinda, the difference between 60 frames a second versus 30 frames a second. As you will recall, I was I wasn't really complaining about the fact that this will only do 30 frames a second in 4K, whereas the Z9, it'll go up to 120 frames a second in 4K, and I did both. Anyway, I think that what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to go back into the computer. I've already got the footage shot, and I'm going to try and get it to make some sort of sense right now. I've got two scenes, one shot at 30, one with the Z9, and one shot at 120 with the Z9. And the reason for the 120 is so that you can have a half-speed slow motion, which is very smooth because you're viewing this slow motion at 60 frames a second. Well, you know what? I'm going to just go back into the software there, into the editing program, and try and get it to make some sort of sense. And then we'll get on with. I guess what we're going to do today is we're going to try and get those propellers mounted on the shafts. I think it was Trainman Dave said, why didn't you just put the propellers on the shafts, glue them on the shafts? In other words, and so I think I replied back, that makes way too much sense. I mean, yeah, here I am messing around with paring down Q-tips, and all I had to do was just glue them on the end of the propeller. Dave, you have a lot of good ideas. Yeah. Okay, I want to do a bit of an update here about our new HDMI cable. And now I'm hoping that the exposure is going to be okay here. I'm going to get myself around so I can see what I'm doing, and the camera can see it as well. Okay, now what I've done is, well, first of all, it was suggested that I get one of those right angle, 90-degree angle adapters. It would have the HDMI come out here, and you would plug another HDMI down in the top of it. Now, I did know about those. I can get them off Amazon. But what I've come up with is this. Now, I replied back to the viewer that I felt that the adapter would be kind of cumbersome, and I guess maybe cumbersome was not the best word. What I was thinking of is that I've got a connection here, and another connection here, and and then I think that this, although maybe this sticks out probably about, I was going to say a quarter of an inch longer than the adapter would have. Now, without actually having the adapter here and trying it, but then I would have another heavy plug going down in the top, and my thinking is that this is less cumbersome. Now, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe the other would have been better. Now, you'll notice I took that bracket off of the side here. I think that if I'm careful, I shouldn't have a problem. The only thing that could happen is that if I was to sort of bang this on something, there is a chance that I could damage the connection that's inside the camera, and that's what would be expensive. I'm not worried about accidentally, if I wreck this thing, I just get another cable. But it's the connection that's inside the camera that's really expensive. And I don't know how well this plug is fixed to the frame of the camera, or is it just sort of glued onto the circuit board? Now this is Nikon's flagship camera, so it's probably they've probably done it as realizing that people are going to be plugging these things in and out and in and out. Okay, Ron, shut up and get on with it. Now, after I shot that scene in which I started to ramble on and on, I did go on Amazon again, and I found something that I think might actually be better. I ordered it. All being well, it'll be here tomorrow. Earlier this morning, when I pulled back the curtains to let a little bit of light on our model table, I checked to see was there any rabbit tracks around my car. I don't think there's going to be any rabbits wanting to hop around in that deep snow, unless maybe the snowshoe rabbit. And actually there is such a rabbit, but I don't think there's any here in Winnipeg. Okay, so here's what's been happening. I have just, you might say, wasted quite a bit of time this morning. And what I did was I was trying to get my laptop to run one of my other monitors, like one of my big 4K monitors. And it did. But things did not turn out quite the way I had hoped. So I changed everything back. And then when I changed everything back, you know what, maybe I should be putting these things on. Although I don't know why I bother. Anyway, then when I changed everything back, the sound didn't work. So I thought, well, that's no problem. So I went into the sound settings and everything looked all right, and it still wouldn't work. And so I ran the sound troubleshooter that Microsoft has, and it was sort of shrugging its shoulders, you might say, and saying, I don't know. And so I kept playing with it, and I was starting to get kind of worried. I thought, did I maybe accidentally burn something out? And I thought, well, I've never had that happen before. So anyway, it turns out that it was turned off on my software. I guess when I had plugged in the other monitor, somehow my software, like in the program that I edit the videos, that software, Power Director, and it had turned off the speaker. But the symbol was backwards to what I thought it should be. And I kept looking at it, and I was thinking, it's on, it's on, it's on. So I thought, after a while, I thought, well, it's already off. I mean, it can't hurt if I push it off again. Well, don't you know that turned it on? So anyway, I'm up and running again. But that's just one of the funny little things that computers, you got to either love them or hate them. And I did shoot off another email to iTech Systems here in Winnipeg to see what's happening with the new system that I'm hoping to get, because that's part of my problem. I don't want to have to spend a lot of time waiting for the video to render, or every time I make a bit of a change, I have to wait for it to happen on the screen. And in other words, the latency between what you do and what happens is is pretty bad. And yeah, well, it's because I'm using an old laptop to try and do something that you might say is a little bit sophisticated. Anyway, let's move on here. Let's put on the metal shafts here and glue them on. And I think what I'm going to do is, if my thinking is that if I paint these now, yeah, it'd be easier to paint them. But I'm afraid that when I slide them up in this thing here, I forget what you call it. I used to know. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it is. Anyway, when I slide the shaft in, I'm thinking I'm going to end up scratching the paint off anyway. So maybe I'll paint the shafts afterwards. I think that'll be all right. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. I only have to paint like this portion right here. This part here will be hidden. It'll be stuck in the prop, and the prop will be right up against this. Anyway, well, let's get at it. Okay, so what I'm thinking now is that I'm going to be wanting to paint these later, and I would think that in all likelihood in all likelihood this would paint a lot easier if it wasn't smooth like this. I got a little piece of 1000 grit sandpaper here, and I think I'll just take the shine off of it. Makes sense to me anyway. I mean, it's going to be painted anyway, so. Okay, I would think that'll the paint will stick to that rough surface a lot better. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, now I got this on me. Yeah, this shiny end's going to go up inside the hull of the ship anyway. Only need about this much of it done, and I'm pretty sure I got it all. Okay, enough. Okay, here's the latest. First of all, I've burnished right to the very end of this, where I'm going to stick the end in the prop, because I'm going to be gluing it in. And I'm thinking, why don't I try the Stanlres gray? I was thinking at first black, but then I thought, no, these things probably would not have looked black. They might have looked probably rusty, to be honest with you. Anyway, yeah, let's just. I'm trying. I was handling them with my hands here, so I know I've got them greasy. Now, Murphy's Law says if I don't put the lid on, I'm going to knock this over. Now that I put the lid on, I won't knock it over. Oh, the run out on this is pretty bad. Okay, well, let's make it go a little slower here. Okay, I'm just going to reposition here, and then we're going to zoom in. Now, isn't that slick? Okay, bear with me. Okay, now we just do that 3 more times. I don't even know if I'm going to need to put a second coat on it. Now I would think this is probably pretty dry by now. Oh, save these. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use CA thick. Now I know it's probably going to take a while to cure. I know it doesn't say thick on here because the label peeled off, but trust me, that's the thick. Now I was going to use the applicator to put it in the hole, but you know I'm wondering if, well, yeah, I suppose it might be a good idea, because if I dip the end of the shaft in the CA, which is the easiest way, it's going to ooze around, and I think I'm going to just I'm going to recompose here again, and we'll zoom in. Okay, here's hoping that the black rubber doesn't come off. I would think that's going to do it. All right. Can't let go. There we go. That's, oh yeah, there we go. It's oozing out a little bit there. I suppose maybe we could take a toothpick and, or maybe one of these. No, that's not a good one. Yeah, that one's better. Okay. I think we just do that 3 more times now. And maybe I will put it, well, I'll show you afterwards. Okay, we'll let that cure overnight, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday I get a coffee visitor. Thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.